Have you ever had somebody say that they love you, but their actions don't line up? How does that make you feel? No, really, think about that. Like, have you ever been in a situation where maybe your spouse or fiance has said, I love you, but their actions just don't really lead to that? Or maybe it's your kids. If you're a parent and you've asked your kids to do things 1,000 times and their response is, I love you in sweet words, and what you really want is for them just to do the thing you asked. That can be really frustrating at times, But sometimes I think we do this in our relationship with God, where He's asking us to be obedient in something. And instead of us listening, we kind of just say, I love you, God, and walk away. Maybe it's that phone call that you need to make to that person. You just keep putting off because you might be scared. It's anxious. You feel anxious about it. Or maybe it's that God wants you to spend more time in His Word, but you just keep getting distracted. Or, it could be something a little deeper. Maybe it's that relationship that you need to cut off because in the long run, it'll be better. But you just keep holding on. And what God wants us to do, He wants us to be obedient because He has the best will for our life. He doesn't want us to just talk the talk. He wants us to walk the walk in obedience. And I actually want to read you a verse. It's in 1 Samuel 15:22. It says, what is more pleasing to the Lord? Your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to His voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than the offering the fat of rams. Now, to just make this really short, God was telling King Saul, who was the king over the people of Israel, a very specific command that if you keep reading, you find out that Saul didn't do it the way that was intended. In fact, he kind of just did all of the things. He talked the talk, right? He didn't do it the way that God had originally intended. And in the end of the story, all that really mattered to God was His obedience. God didn't want all of the offerings. He didn't want all the sacrifices. He wanted His heart to be willing and obedient. Now, I know that's hard, but it's so worth it when we do it. And so I don't know, right now you might be in a position where God is nudging you to be obedient in a specific area. Listen, I know I have them myself. And so if that's you today, I would just encourage you, surrender it to God. Tell Him sorry for the apprehension and start walking in full obedience today.